In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix glute and hip pain in seconds. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over really easy exercises that can instantly relieve pain across the hips. They're going to focus on the glutes, the main muscle group associated with hip pain, because when these muscles become strained and inflamed, they can cause pain in the lower back, across the buttocks, into the hip, even down the leg. So they're going to focus on stretching and strengthening the glutes for both quick and long-lasting relief. Each one of these exercises works differently. They're going to be shown in different positions. To get the best results, go through them all and use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. This exercise we can do in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. Have your legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. The first movement is called the windshield wiper. So what I like to do is gently press my heels downward into the floor until I feel a light activation of the muscles around the hips, targeting the glutes. From here, what I'm going to do is slowly swing my knees downward towards the floor, moving through my hips as much as I can. As you do this, you're going to feel a really good stretch start to form. Build into a comfortable stretch, hold this for a couple seconds, and then just like a windshield wiper, you're going to go towards the other side and repeat. You want to do this nice and slowly for 15 to 20 repetitions on both sides. With each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. So another really good movement that you can do is called the clamshell. So what we're going to do is put our feet together like this, gently press them down into the floor until we feel the glutes around the hips start to engage. Hold that and then take our knees and press them down towards the floor until we feel a really good stretch. This time around, you're going to feel it more towards the inner part of the thighs, working into the groin and then finally into the hips. This one you want to hold a little bit longer, about 5 seconds. You're going to release it and then you're going to repeat this 5 to 10 times. Again, with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. But let's take this one to the next level and really engage some muscles to not only get some pain relief by loosening them up, but we can also strengthen them for long-lasting relief. So what we're going to do is build back into that clamshell position. We're going to hold this, but this time around we're going to press our hips straight up towards the ceiling until our body roughly is in a straight line from our knees to our hips to our shoulders. You're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire: the core, your back, your butt, your legs. Hold this position for 5 seconds, release it, take a breather, and then repeat this 5 to 10 times. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. This exercise, we're going to start seated. Whatever side that you're having the most hip pain or discomfort, let's say it's your right side. Take that side's ankle and place over your other side's knee, so when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. The first movement is taking your hands and cupping around this bent knee and pulling this knee across your body towards your other side's shoulder. As you do this, you're going to feel a really deep stretch form on the outer part of your thigh that works across the hip. Really build into it, feeling it around the hip, and then hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. And during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Let out as much tension as you can. You're going to release it, take a breather, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. But let's take this one to the next level and get a much deeper activation of the glutes for more relief. So what I'm going to do this time around is take this bent knee and press it straight towards the floor, but don't use your hands. Instead, only use your leg and hip strength, because as you press that knee down, you are going to feel a deep activation of the glute muscles around the hip. Hold this comfortably for 5 seconds. You're going to release it, and then you're going to repeat this 10 times. Just with each repetition, try to press into it a little bit more. So another movement that you can add into this that targets more of the lower back muscles that tend to cause hip pain is by doing this. So take this bent knee, press it down towards the floor, feel the activation of the glutes, hold that, and then tilt your body towards the other side. So just lean away. At this point, you're going to feel a deep stretch form from the bottom of your ribs working into your lower back towards the hip. Once you feel that, hold that for 5 seconds, release it, and give that a try for 10 times. But go through all of these movements. You may find that one just helps out a little bit more. At that point, just keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything in balance. This exercise, we're going to start standing with very good upright posture. Just have your back nice and straight. Whatever side that you're having the most amount of hip pain or discomfort, let's say it's our left side, when you do this exercise, you want that side towards the back. So I'm going to demonstrate left-sided hip pain. We're going to start in a big, wide, scissored stance like this. What you want to do is take this front foot and turn it inward as much as you can until you feel a good activation of the muscles around the hip. You're going to hold this and now do the same thing with this back foot until you feel a really good activation of those muscles. Now hold this, and what you want to do is slowly lean backward, placing all of your body weight onto this back heel. At this point, you should feel a ton of muscles starting to fire, including the glutes across the hips. You're going to hold this, and now to take it to the next level, you're going to put your hands in front of you just like this, kind of like a genie position, and you're going to slowly rotate through your lower back towards the side of pain. When you do this, that stretch is going to quickly deepen. So build into this one, hold it comfortably for about 20 to 30 seconds, and during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Release it, take a breather, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, switch sides and repeat to help keep everything in balance. Here's an exercise that's a little bit more advanced, but it's going to really help target the glutes and pretty much all the main muscles associated with hip pain. It's fittingly called the butt walk. What we're going to do is sit on a floor with our legs straight, toes up towards the ceiling. Take your hands, put them in a prayer position, and then press them into your chest. What this will do is help keep your back as straight as possible during this exercise. So the movement is very straightforward. What we're going to do is take one butt cheek and lift it straight up towards the ceiling like this until we feel a deep activation of those muscles around the hip, but you should also feel it in your lower back. At that point, we're going to hold this and now press our foot forward like this and drop our heel back on the floor. At this point, you're going to repeat this on the other side. When you do this over and over again, you're going to notice that you start to move forward because essentially you're walking with your butt. So I would try to do at least 5 to 10 repetitions on both sides, but if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself. Throw in as many repetitions until it feels like you got a really good workout. But if you would like to take this one to the next level, what you can do is then go in reverse. You're going to notice it targets those muscles a lot differently, and it's definitely more challenging. Here's a really good strengthening exercise that you can do every single day for long-lasting glute and hip pain relief. What we're going to do is start lying on our side in bed or on a floor. And you want the side that has more pain or discomfort towards the ceiling. So what you're going to do is have your back nice and straight, have your knees bent roughly at 90 degrees, legs together and feet together also. And I like to have my knees a little bit forward from the body and definitely support your head with your hand just like this. So the movement is very straightforward. We're going to keep our feet together, but we're going to take this top knee and press it up towards the ceiling and try to wing it back as much as we can. As you do this, you're going to feel a really deep activation of those glute muscles around the hip. Build into that as much as you can. Hold this for 5 seconds, you're going to slowly release it, and then you're going to repeat this 10 to 15 times. With each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. But let's take this one to the next level, challenge those muscles a little bit more. So instead of keeping this top knee bent, we're going to straighten it like this, have our thighs in line with each other, and then what we're going to do is slowly lift our leg and foot up towards the ceiling. Again, it's a lot more challenging. Hold this for 5 seconds, slowly come back down. Again, try to do that about 10 to 15 times. But if you really want to make this harder, when you lift your foot upward towards the ceiling, turn it inward like this until you feel a deep activation around the hip and then lift up. You can also turn your foot outward like this to target the muscles a little bit differently. But go through all of these movements. If you find one is a little bit more challenging, like it feels like there's a lot of weakness with it, treat it like your weak link and throw more repetitions in until it feels like you got a really good workout. And when you're done on one side, always switch to the other side and repeat to help keep everything in balance. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.